Hello and welcome to a quick video. I just noticed that Stream Deck have updated their software and they've added a feature that I thought might be of use to us. This ability to have a virtual device, to have like a virtual Stream Deck, but actually on your monitor. And I thought I've just started playing with it. I thought I'd give you a quick look at what's going on, or how I thought I might use it. Early days yet, literally had about an hour playing with it, but I'll show you what it sort of thing it does. Let's get out and into a cockpit. Okay, so what I usually use is some Stream Deck software, and let's just get this set up sort of with my Stream Deck. This is my Stream Deck profile that I use. So I'm pressing buttons on my physical Stream Deck, and it's reflected in the sort of editing software that you don't have to run all the time. You only need to run it when you're editing. So I'm working on this aircraft here. There's so many panels, so I've got a folder for various different panels that I'm working on. When I'm flying, obviously I need to talk to air traffic control, but I may be in another panel and I get a call and I've got to go out of where I am here and going into ATC to do whatever I need to do there and then come back again. So what I thought would be quite nice would be to have these air traffic buttons. They're available there on my Stream Deck, which is my sort of primary device. I'm trying to avoid using the mouse and keyboard as much as possible, but occasionally it would be nice to have the commands somewhere else as well. So what I thought was I'd explore these virtual devices that are now available to us. So to create a virtual device, sorry, this drop down here, I'm going to add a virtual device, and by default it comes up as a small matrix, but because I'm going to be sort of simulating my normal full-size Stream Deck, I need to make that the same size. So it's 4 by 8 is what I'm going to need. Let's work top to bottom on here, that we can have a keystroke to make this appear and disappear. So I'm going to have Control Alt A because it's my ATC call, and if I do that now and show you that working, basically it does that. I hold down Control Alt A and it disappears and it's back again. I've also got it set so that it hides unused keys. It won't do anything for this, but it's quite nice when you're building it. Let me demonstrate how that works. If I just drop on here into this corner here a random key as I'm going, you can see that it's just a single size, a single cell. That's all that it needs. And if I add more keys or something to it, it builds and grows. So it can be made quite unobtrusive on your screen. Other settings we've got that are useful. We can change the key size. You can make it more or less visible, up to you, and also change the opacity of it. So, and the color. So that's basically what it does. If I go back into this software here, let's get rid of the bits I've dumped in. What I want to do is to use the folder that I've already made on my actual Stream Deck. So I'd like that to be on the other one. So if we copy that and switch over here to my new virtual Stream Deck and paste it in there. There it is, active, and if I press on there, it's simulating what's happening on the screen here, but it's not connected to that. So if I go back to my Stream Deck, you can see my Stream Deck is showing something other than this. So I can press buttons on my actual Stream Deck and this is staying as it was. not actually working yet, and we'll come back to that in a second. But that's not the most friendly name in the world, so what we can do straight away is go into our settings here for this device and just rename that. So I'm going to rename that ATC, so that helps. What appears to be happening, if we get rid of that, is when I'm working on it, X's and O's kind of doesn't seem to know about this device, and it does get itself into a bit of a mess here. Let's go back there and see if this is still working. So I can still change frequencies, and you can see the frequency changing here. I can still click on here to tune radios. If I click on that on the actual Stream Deck.
Catania Airport information, uniform 1200 Zulu.
So these buttons here are actually correspond here, but it's just not active on here. It seems to me that you need to disconnect and reconnect to the sim. I think that's only when you're creating it and editing it. Once that's happened, it seems to be okay, but that's the trick. I disconnect and reconnect. There's a little bug somewhere in this aircraft that it turns off the avionics bus when it does a sim connect. So I'm going to have to turn the avionics bus back on again. And now everything's in sync again. So I've got this working, so I can still tune radios. You can see that's happening. I'm tuning it using my MIDI controller, my X-Touch MIDI controller, but I can also click on buttons here, so I can go here to tune to my ATIS, tune back to ground again, and do all the calls from here. So if I wanted to make a request.
Beechcraft Golf, Bravo, Mike, with uniform request taxi for takeoff, touch, and go.
Beechcraft Golf, Bravo, Mike, taxi to and hold short of runway 08 via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 08 via taxiway Alpha Beechcraft, Mike.
So as I said, I'd probably have this on my second monitor. I would park that out of the way and just bring it up if I need to. The other thought I had that I might use it for is setting up custom views, particularly when I'm making videos. I keep forgetting the key presses to change to program the views and to swap between views, because I don't use it very often. So I use a head tracker when I'm flying, so I don't use custom views very often. But what I'm doing here is, let's switch that. I'm just created this views, so that I put in here, it's a hotkey, and I just put in the key press to change to view 1, and here view 2, and then this is the key press to create a view. So if I do this, if I click lower left or fuel panel, so I can label it and I know what view I'm going to get, and it moves across. So that's the basics of this, these virtual keyboards, these virtual Stream Decks. I think you can have 6 of them, something like that. I'll have to reread the instructions, but I've already created, as you can see, a couple of them. And I've got one for my recording, the OBS software that I'm using. So I can see some use for it. It hasn't eliminated me having to reach for the mouse occasionally to do things, but it's not that often. Okay, I hope that's been helpful for you. I'll see you in the next video when I've finished making the videos for this aircraft that I'm working on.